Hi all, it's Betsy. Thanks for being here. This is a 30-minute version of our Yoga Hour sequence 3. Take a seat. We'll get right into things. We'll move at a pretty quick pace today and see what comes up. Close your eyes. Sit tall in the spine and take in a few breaths. Let the breath rise from belly into the ribs, up into the chest, and each exhale, chest, ribs, belly. Tuck your chin down to the chest and rock the head a bit from side to side. Easeful movements to open, to allow us to connect in mind, physical body, breath, all together. Keep the chin down to the chest now. Take both hands behind the head and give that little push of the head up into the hands. Feel a light stretch from the top of your spine leading down to the tailbone. Pull your navel in towards the spine to feel strength along the front side of the body. And release the hands, lift the head, open the eyes. Come on over to all fours and right into cat pose. Press down through the hands and knees, round the back. Big cat curl, drop your head. Wiggle the body just a little bit side to side. Get into all of those creaky spots. And then change into cow, drop the belly down. Tailbone up, pull the chest through, eyes and tailbone to the sky. So even though we'll move at a quicker pace today in this 30-minute practice, slowly, softly getting into the movement. Come back to a neutral spine and extend your right leg straight back behind you. Tuck the toes and keep them on the ground. And then turn the hands out 90 degrees. Try turning one more time so it's 180 degrees. Now lift the right leg up. Look a little forward. Great stretch in the forearms. Lower the right leg down. Keep the hands as is. Stretch the left leg back, toes tucked and on the ground. Little scoop of the tailbone. And now lift the leg. I like to call this the tiger tail, so you think of that leg swinging like a tiger. Southpaw tiger, since we have the hands turned around. Lower the left leg, turn the hands back around, sit flat back on your feet, interlace the hands, flip the palms, and lift. Long breath in, full breath out. Take the hands and interlace behind your back now. Nice bend in the elbows, squeeze the elbows in. Straighten the arms, lift the chest. Either stay upright like this or try it head down, arms up. Again, just one breath. And then we release and come out to plank. Here in plank pose, hold steady at the top of your plank. Squeeze the heels in, glutes strong. Lengthen the tailbone. Tone the abdomen, look a little bit forward. Good, yogis, it's your choice here to stay and hold top of your plank for about 20 more seconds or add in tricep push-ups. Try up to 5 from the toes or from the knees. Hug the elbows in tight. Everyone now, downward facing dog. That's one way to heat us up and get us going, right? Downward facing dog here. Pedal out your feet a little bit. Inhale, come forward, back to plank pose and lower flat down to your belly. Locust with hands bound, interlace the hands behind your back, lift everything that you can up. Exhale, release the hands, release belly down. Do it one more time, this time with hands open. Lift, lift, lift. Exhale, lower down, press back to child's pose. Rise through all fours. Step your right foot forward and come to a low lunge. Lift the back knee. Keeping this front knee right over the line of your ankle, walk both hands up to the front thigh. Still hinge way forward. Think belly right against the thigh, but way back. Push through that back heel. Good, let's add the twist. Left elbow to the outside of the right knee, palms together. Try pointing this right elbow straight up to the sky. Look down at your right toes. Stay in as much of that twist as you can and step the left foot against the right. If you wobble a little bit, as I did getting there, no big deal. It's a part of the practice. Untwist, stand up, reach high. Exhale, forward fold, step all the way back, downward facing dog. Lower your knees and step the left foot forward. Lift the back knee, low lunge. Walk both hands up to the front thigh, pause. Again, remember you're hinged way forward, belly right against that thigh. And then squish the right elbow to the outside of the left thigh. Tone and turn, work with the breath, palms together. Try pointing the left elbow straight up towards the sky. Stay here. Look down now at your left toes. Keep your focus there to help balance as you shift. Right foot forward. In your twisted chair pose. Untwist, stand tall, reach the arms up to the sky. Plant your palms together. I like to cross the thumbs as a little bit of help here and lean towards your right, bump your hips to the left. Inhale, come back across the center and do it to the second side. Inhale, come back to the center. Keep the arms exactly as is. Pull your right knee up into your chest. Externally rotate the leg out to the side and plant your foot against the leg for, I wanted to say eagle pose. This is tree pose, Vrikasana. And we are going to eagle pose now. Cross the leg over. Now, right arm under the left, cross at the elbows and come back to the hands. In a 30-minute practice, we're holding each thing a little less perhaps than usual. Come all the way out of that, palms back up to the sky. Cross the second favorite thumb in front and still try to reach high. Take your left knee up and into the chest. Open the hip out to the side. Try to keep the thigh as high as you can as you place the foot onto your leg for tree pose first. That takes us into Garudasana, eagle pose, cross the leg over, left arm under. Squeeze everything strong towards the midline, elbows in, knees in. Lean your head and shoulders a little bit back. Feel the strength come into your core. We've got this. Nice, going 2 feet onto the ground, unhook the arms, lift back up to the sky. Sun salutation, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Step back to plank. Lower flat down to the mat, peel the chest up for cobra. Downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths in dog pose. Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Next, inhale, look between your hands, step or jump to the front end of the mat. Again, inhale, half lift, extend from hips to head. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stand up, sweep the arms to the sky. Exhale, lower hands down by your side. Do it all over again. Again, sun salutation A, lift the arms. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Plank. Chaturanga Dandasana is the lowering down. Bhujangasana is cobra pose. Downward facing dog. Breathe here. Next inhale, look to the hands, step or jump, front of the mat. Fold over. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stand up, arms to the sky. Palms together, center of the chest this time. Take 2 breaths. Notice what you notice. Drop what you don't need. Sun salutation B. Bend the knees, sit into the thighs. Utkatasana, extend the arms. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Step back to plank. Lower down to the mat. Peel the chest up for cobra. Downward facing dog, hips up and back. Step your right foot forward into a low lunge. Spin the back heel down. Warrior 1, lift up, arms to the sky. Take a breath. Exhale, lower the hands back down. Plank pose. Friends, you can stay and hold plank or go with the flow through chaturanga, cobra, or up dog. Everyone downward facing dog. Second side, left foot forward, back heel down. Turn those back toes in a lot to support as you lift up and keep your hips and shoulders mostly to the front of the mat. Lower your hands back down. One more opportunity to hold plank or chaturanga, through cobra, through dog. Everyone downward facing dog. Look in between your hands and step or jump to the front end of the mat. Half lift, forward fold, Utkatasana, fierce pose, as is translated. Stand all the way up. And again, palms together, center of your chest. Give yourself 2 breaths. Reflect in to reflect out. Change to the center of your mat, facing the long edge of the mat, and take a wide stance. We'll move into a pretty traditional standing pose sequence, starting with your legs wide. Extend the arms out. We want our wrists to drop about to the line of the ankles. If your feet are more narrow than your ankles, take it wider. I bet you can. Okay, turn your right toes out. Look out over the right fingertips. Nice, broad and strong. Bend the right knee to your capacity. I usually need a little bit of a pulse here, especially the first time I come into that high lunge of Warrior 2 in the practice. And then settle into your lower point. Nice strong squeeze in the glutes. I always imagine the inner thighs moving towards each other, even as the feet move down and away from one another. From Warrior 2 into side angle pose, elbow to the knee, top arm, palm down overhead. Now what we're looking for here is not to lean the chest forward and the butt out, but instead to draw back towards one line with one another, which might mean staying up here, elbow to knee. If you can keep that shoulders, head back, chest open, and take the hand down lower to the ground, do that. One more breath here. Then push through your back foot to help you come back upright, Warrior 2. Straighten the right leg, turn the toes, do it on the second side. So back toes want to stay straight ahead or even a little bit turned in to make this more doable. And then bend the left knee a lot. Again, feel free to take that little pulse in, a little more dynamic movement until you settle into the static position. Dynamic simply meaning moving while stretching. Static, more still while stretching. Elbow to knee, top arm palm down overhead. Stay and work there with shoulders, hips back, or take fingertips to the ground for that lower point. Next inhale, come back to warrior two. Straighten both legs. Turn the toes parallel to one another. If you'd gotten a little broad, I had, just heel toe it back in. Big star pose, reaching out in all directions. And then take the hands down to the mat. Wide-legged forward fold. So I'm going to work back so that my heels are at the back edge of my mat and the fingertips at the front edge of the mat. Gives a nice length and width to work with. Extend from hips out to the crown of the head, making your shoulders go right over the base of your wrist. I want you to keep as much as you can of that long spine, but walk your hands back towards the line of your feet, and then send your head down towards the line of your feet as well. No, it's probably not all going to line up. I certainly don't need your head to reach all the way down to the yoga mat. It's the efforts and the work. Friends, lean forward in your hips so that most of your weight is in your toes. But can you still lift and spread your toes and then gently place them back down onto the mat so it's not too strong of a squeeze there? Though the weight definitely should rock a little forward. Lift up on your kneecaps, really tone in the quads here so that we get a nice safe stretch down the back of the legs. Enjoy it for 2 more breaths. And place the hands back to your waist, push down into your feet and come all the way upright. Heel toe your feet in, shake it out. We're 15 minutes into this 30-minute practice, a little bit more in the standing series. Take the feet wide again. Again, arms can go out, always measuring as many years and times as I've done this. It never helps to give a little visual check in my feet and wrist about the same width. Okay, again, first side, turn the right toes out, good old triangle pose. Hinge as far as you can to the right and take the right fingertips down. Now, if they don't reach the floor, use your leg, use your shin. Perhaps some of you got some blocks out and you like to use that, that's fine. I love that our body can be the prop in and of itself. Reminding me that all I need is the yoga mat to get a practice in. Inhale, come all the way upright. Now, hands to your waist. Look at your back foot and turn the toes in sharply. Maybe heel toe the foot in a little bit so that you have the opportunity to sharply turn. Back hip all the way towards the front short side of your mat. We're looking at that front short side. Think extension through the spine and then keeping spine long. Fold over your front leg. Your choice here, do you want pyramid pose? That's 2 straight legs, no extra use in the arms. Or you can take this into twisted triangle pose with the right hand down on the floor. Your left hand down on the floor and the right hand up to the sky. I forgot for a moment, I'm mirroring you. And then bring both hands back to the waist if they had gone somewhere else and lift the torso. Change the toes all the way around. So turn the back toes in a little bit. Turn the left foot all the way out. We're here for full triangle pose. Hinge from the hips, so you push the hips back. Extend as far as you can. And then it's like a pendulum. As the bottom arm drops down, the top arm goes up. Again, just like in extended side angle, if you feel the chest dropping and the top hand dropping like I'm doing right here, take the bottom hand higher, use it on your shin, and see if that gives you enough space to open back up A lot of strength coming through inner thighs, squeezing in, strong use in the core to stay with us in triangle pose, Utthita Trikonasana. Inhale, come all the way upright. And again, hands to the waist. Look at your back foot. Heel toe it in, maybe just one little step, not a lot. And then turn the toes as much as you can to face the front foot, the left foot. Square off your hips. We're trying to get shoulders, hips all facing towards the short end of the mat, and then hinge forward again. In pyramid pose, nose towards the knee. And if the nose goes towards knee, think more towards your shin. Really reach out. Again, you're either staying just like that or adding revolve triangle pose, which here should be right hand down, left arm up for you. It's the opposite hand down as the foot. Bring the hands back to the waist if they are not, and everyone inhale, rise up. Come back, wide-legged stance, and then just heel toe the feet all the way in and shake out the legs. Come back to the front end of the mat, bent knee forward fold, meaning bend your knees and make your fingers touch the ground. Breathe. Okay, and then I'm going back to the very same side as you. So right foot forward, left foot back, drop the left knee to the ground and bring your hands to the front thigh. Let your hips move a little down and forward, but still that nice force of your front heel pulling back isometrically, your back knee pulling in isometrically, meaning they're trying their mighty as to do the work. But you don't see the outside movement. It's that hug muscle strengthening without the movement. Lift your arms up to the sky. Anjaneyasana. Lower the hands back down either side of the front foot. And then change right hand to the inside. That feels too tight for me, so heel toe that right foot out to the side. Turn the toe, knee, hip out. Many of you are used to this. It's twisted monkey, so you put the weight onto the left hand, pull the left heel in towards your seat, look over your top shoulder. Great work there, or hold on, right hand to the left foot for that additional quad stretch. This can harken back as well to remember, don't let the head and shoulders fall forward. Try to draw open and back. Release. Change to pigeon pose, so hands on either side, pick up the back knee and change right knee behind the right wrist. Left knee down, walk it back. Let's go to sleeping pigeon down to the forearms here. Try to keep the hips as square as possible so there's not more heaviness on the right side than there is the left, right on top. Often by the time I get here, I want to stay a little bit longer. Honoring the time we're working with today, I want you to go ahead and come out of that pose by falling now over onto the right side so that front leg is weighted so the back leg can come all the way around. Step across. Hold on to the front of your shin as you settle both sides of your butt as heavy onto the mat as you can. And then twist. Right elbow goes to the outside of the left thigh. Back hand helps as your anchor. Lift out of the anchor and twist. Again, not letting the head and shoulders fall and slump forward. Instead, imagine leaning back. And on your next inhale, slow twist out of this. If you just lean back onto the hands to unpretzel the legs, give them a little bit of a shake. And come back to that bent knee, forward fold at the front of the mat. However you get there is fine. Start it all on the second side. So left foot should be forward now, right foot back. As you stretch into that long, low lunge, then back knee down to the floor, hands up to the front thigh. I usually draw myself up and back so that I can get that isometric squeeze of front heel, back knee, keeping that, then send the hips down and forward. Arms up to the sky. If the shoulders are feeling like they need a little space, just keep the hands more open. They don't have to close. Always finding your own way in the poses. They certainly shouldn't look like mine, somewhat, but not exactly. We all have our way of doing things, and that's the best way. Okay, hands go back down, hands to the inside. Heel toe that left foot out to the side, turn the toes, knees, hip out again, 30 degrees. Lean your weight up and over onto the right hand to give some more space. Pull the back heel in. Left arm reaches back towards the right foot. Again, imagine leaning back here, shoulders and head back. Enjoy the breath. Slow release. Switch back to your regular low lunge. Pick up the back knee so that we can move into pigeon. Left knee behind the left wrist, heel to the right hip, walk the right leg back. Go down to the forearms. This is a good time to remember and to say that the hips do not have to lower at the same rate on both sides. If this side is a little stickier for you, it's a little harder for me, I simply keep that right knee more forward, more towards the left heel, and only slowly walk it back as the breath and body allow. Okay, nice work. Let's keep moving along. Let your weight go over onto that left side so that it's easy to swing the back leg around. Readjust to set sole of the foot on the outside. Now, at first for me, the seat is really lifted on my right side here. And if I just kind of take in a little bit of breath, it can settle. If it's not settling at all for you, extend your bottom leg out and see if that helps. Okay, we add the twist. Right hand goes behind you as your anchor, left elbow to the outside of the thigh. We're trying to lift and twist. Remember, we're leaning a little bit back. That was that strong side that I gave us. Lean a little back. Inhale, come out of the twist. Lean back onto the hands to unpretzel the legs, and again, just shake it out a little bit. Lift the arms all the way up to the sky, seated forward fold as we come towards our closing few moments here. Stay in the seated forward fold. Take a quick body scan. How are you feeling? How are you doing? I've got one more big ask for you before we calm all the way down for a minute of relaxation. Yogi squat. You can take this from a seated position. So with your butt on the ground, take the feet wider than your hips, and then use your hands behind you to lift up and kind of shift forward. Throw the weight in front of you. Just turning my direction. In Malasana, in Yogi Squat, I'm giving a couple options here. Try to have the upper arm bones sit into the inner thighs and lift. Stay and work here, especially if this is a bit of a challenge. You have a few more breaths for it. The second option would be Bakasana. Palms down, lift the hips about halfway, turn the toes more forward rather than out so that they're headed towards the hands. And then lean your knees onto your upper arm bones. A little bit of that rock forward and back is a nice place to be. Or stay forward and try lifting your feet off of the ground. Pull the inner edges of the feet together. Hold Bakasana for 1 breath, 2 breaths, or even 3 or 4. And then everyone rejoin in Malasana and Yogi Squat. Nice option is keeping the hands behind you in Yogi Squat if you were there the whole time. And then our butts can sit back down, stretch the legs out. One more time, seated forward fold as if we've spent the last minute here the whole time. Take a longer inhale and exhale. Come build the torso back upright. Keep the legs straight out or change to a cross-legged seat. Turn your eye gaze low or close your eyes. Shake out the arms, upper body a little bit. Relax, release. Let's take 4 breaths together. One more inhale and exhale. Friends, thank you so much for taking the time to move your body in this 30-minute practice, a little shortened version of Yogahour sequence 3. With palms together, bow chin. Deepest of gratitude to yourself, to those practicing with you, because there's always someone practicing at the same time. And giving great gratitude for the wisdom of this practice of yoga itself. Thank you. See you next time.